All right, hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez with the Next Generation of News. This is a conversation. It's not a speech, and it is your turn to get involved. It is my duty as a journalist to make you aware of a deeply disturbing trend that is taking place in our country and how it ironically folds into yet another story that I shared with you just last week. A CNN source with very close ties to the U.S. Secret Service confirmed to me today that threats on the life of the President of the United States have now risen by as much as 400% since his inauguration. 400% death threats against Barack Obama, quote, in this environment, go far beyond anything the Secret Service has seen with any other president. Now, I need to have you keep in mind today, as we add details to the story of what we're going to share with you here, I want to take you back 11 days ago when Mr. Obama visited Phoenix, Arizona. You remember this man? He's one of a dozen or so people who carried guns to that presidential event that we've been checking on. You may remember that we heard him say on camera that he's prepared to resort to forceful resistance against the Obama administration. Now, today, I want to tell you about the church that man attends. And in particular, I'm going to play for you parts of the sermon that were delivered from the pulpit on the very day before the president arrived in Phoenix, Arizona. This is important. This, my friends, I believe you'll agree, is chilling.
And I don't want to preach this sermon. And, you know, you've probably never heard a sermon like this before. Actually, you probably have if you've been coming to church here for a while. But you know what? Here's my sermon. Why I hate Barack Obama. That's my sermon, right? Because, you know, Barack Obama is coming to town tomorrow morning. Barack Obama is coming to town. And he's going to be here tomorrow morning. Who knew that he was coming to town? I didn't know. I just found out recently. You know, with this health care and everything like this. And I'm going to tell you something. I hate Barack Obama. You say, well, you just mean you don't like what he stands for. No, I hate the person. Oh, hey, you mean you just don't like his politics. No, I hate him.
There is more, and it is much worse. First, I want you to know the voice you heard there was that of Pastor Stephen Anderson of the Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona, on the day before the president's visit. Mr. Anderson told his parishioners that he hates Barack Obama and wants him dead. Mrs. Anderson from the pulpit saying the president deserves to die for supporting abortion rights. That is what he means when he uses the word violence. All right, here's some more.
What goes around comes around. You love violence. You hate that which is right. You love to harm others. You love to hurt or kill the unborn or the innocent or the righteous. He's saying God is going to bring that upon your own head, because whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Now turn back to Psalm 58, and let me ask you this question. Why should Barack Obama melt like a snail? Why should Barack Obama die like the untimely birth of a woman? Why should his children be fatherless and his wife a widow, as we read in this passage? Well, I'll tell you why. Because since Barack Obama thinks it's okay to use a salty solution, right, to abort the unborn, because that's how abortions are done, my friend, using salt. And I'd like to see Barack Obama melt like a snail tonight.
Joining me now from New York, a man who used to work for the U.S. Secret Service, he is Scott Allswine. He personally guarded Presidents Ronald Reagan and George Herbert Walker Bush. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you, Rick.
We're also going to be joined by Mike Brooks, who's standing right here next to me, who's been digging down on this story. Mike, thank you for being here. This looks serious. I mean, this almost looks like it's coming to the point where we're even beyond maybe where this nation was on November 22nd of 1963 when JFK was assassinated, when there was also an environment of hate in this country. When you hear that, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm confident that my former organization, the Secret Service, is doing everything they can to keep the president and his family safe. There are a lot of people that like attention in these cases.
What about this case? Do you know if the Secret Service has knocked on this pastor's door? Should they be knocking on this pastor's door?
I am confident that they have already knocked on his door, that through counterpart means in local, state, federal authorities that this has come to be explained to, and for the media to bring it out. I definitely think that it's come to their attention.
Mike, you going to add something to that?
No, I've been talking to some folks, and he has been interviewed by the U.S. Secret Service. But he walks the fine line. And Scott, you'll agree with me. I was with the Metropolitan Police and worked on all the presidential and vice presidential details when I was there for 26 years. And I can tell you, we used to run into people like this all the time who knew how to walk that fine line without making a direct threat.
Let me stop you.
And that's why they did arrest him.
Well, hold on a minute. Here's Statute 18, U.S. Code, Section 871. We looked it up today about threatening the President of the United States. It's against the law to do so, as I'm sure you both know, and I'm just recently becoming expert on. Let me read you the quote. Whoever knowingly and willfully threatens to take the life of, to kidnap, or to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. That's the way we were able to decipher those words. It sounds like both of you are saying that this man directly is not doing that. Is that right, Mr. Allswang?
He is walking a fine line. The problem I have with it is that he seems to be inciting his congregation to go and act in a direction toward the president, and that, at least on a local level, would seem to me to be an inciting charge. And if someone in that congregation had mental disabilities or were prone toward violence or had a direction of interest toward the president or his family, there could be grave consequences.
Well, that's interesting. Let me show the viewers something. Do we have that shot of Chris? Chris is the guy, Chris Broughton. It's taken us a long time to dig down and find out who this guy is. Chris Broughton is that gentleman who had an AR-14, right, Mike?
AR-15 type weapon.
AR-15, sorry. There he is right there. He's outside where the president was speaking. We have found out that Chris was actually in attendance when that sermon was given on the eve of the president's arrival. Now, let's listen to just a little bit more of that sermon as we consider that chilling thought.
You're going to tell me that I'm supposed to